Hello viewer, thank you for joining us. My name is Yunis Dekow and this is the latest news from CBA Broadcasting from Hargeisa. Somaliland's government has denied that youth from Somaliland will be beneficiaries in a youth investment program led by the federal government of Somalia. Somalia's Prime Minister Hassan Ali Khaire yesterday announced that young people from Bur'a and Hargeisa will be beneficiaries in a program for empowering the young for self-reliance and economic freedom. Hassan Gafadi, Somaliland's Minister of Planning, said the government in Mogadishu cannot provide any service to the people of Somaliland. He considered the Prime Minister's announcement part of Somalia's claim of sovereignty over Somaliland. The minister was speaking at the parliamentary building after a closed-door briefing with the Standing Committee of the House of the Representatives. Mogadishu on Monday hosted an expo whose intention is to create an opportunity to invest in Somali youth-owned businesses for growth and creating jobs. The event was opened by Somalia's Prime Minister Hassan Ali Khaire and graced by the U.S. Ambassador to Somalia, Donald Yamamoto. 340 business innovators are invested with $1.6 million from USAID and local companies. The International Monetary Fund has lauded Somalia's sustained economic reform progress, bringing Mogadishu closer to debt relief. In a statement issued on Monday evening, the International Monetary Fund said Somalia has enacted several critical bills, including on the revenue, public financial management, and anti-corruption, crucial for economic reforms. IMF team led by Alison Holland, which last week met Somali authorities to discuss recent economic development and reform progress, said Somalia's sustained commitment for economic reforms brings debt relief under the heavily indebted poor countries initiative closer. Ms. Allison said domestic revenue collection of Somalia has remained strong, with domestic revenues through November 2019 reaching $194.6 million relative to a full-year target for 2019 of $196 million. She added that the Somali authorities and IMF staff team reached a preliminary agreement on policies that could constitute the basis for a new 3-year macroeconomic reform program with the IMF. IMF's team leader said the key policy pillars of this new program will include further strengthening public financial management, continuing to increase domestic revenue mobilization, increasing the capacity of central bank, and further efforts to enhance governance and reduce the perception of corruption. The federal government of Somalia and the U.S. government has conducted an airstrike against Al-Shabaab militants. In coordination with the federal government of Somalia, U.S. Africa Command conducted an airstrike targeting Al-Shabaab militants in the vicinity of Jilib in Somalia on January 27th. AFRICOM said in a statement, airstrikes extend the reach and influence of government while creating conditions for development and better future for Somalis. It also added that reducing the influence and plans of Al-Shabaab benefits Somalia as well as the broader international community. Initial assessment from the U.S. Africa Command concluded the airstrike killed one militant. In a statement, U.S. Africa Command said it will continue to work with its partners to transfer the responsibility for long-term security in Somalia to the federal government of Somalia and its member states. The head of states and government of Eritrea, Ethiopia, and Somalia have met in Asmara, Eritrea on 27 January 2020. The three leaders held candid and extensive discussion on situations in their respective countries, their tripartite cooperation and development in the Horn of Africa region. The three leaders reaffirmed their commitment to the tripartite agreement they signed in September 2018 and reviewed the outcomes and successes of their considerable joint efforts towards its implementation. The three leaders adopted a joint plan of action for 2020 and beyond, focusing on the two main intertwined objectives of consolidating peace, stability, and security, as well as promoting economic and social development. They also agreed to bolster their joint effort to foster effective front. The three leaders formulated a comprehensive plan to combat and neutralize the common threats they face, including terrorism, arms and human trafficking, and drug smuggling. Regarding economic and social development, they agreed to prioritize the mobilization of their bountiful human and natural resources, build, modernize, and interface their infrastructure, and develop their production and service sector. They also expressed their appreciation for and their readiness to cooperate with their friends and partners On the basis of mutual respect and mutual benefit, the three leaders agreed to closely consult with their brothers head of states for the realization of the aspirations of their people for an effective Horn of Africa cooperation. A student from China who arrived at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi with coronavirus-like symptoms has been admitted at the Kenyatta National Hospital isolation ward in the capital, Nairobi. The Ministry of Health says it's currently investigating suspected case of the deadly virus. The unnamed student in his early 20s arrived at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport with coronavirus-like symptoms and was rushed to the hospital by the Ministry of Health at 9:30 on Tuesday morning local time. Officials said that when the student arrived at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and was flagged by the infectious disease unit at the airport, more than 2,700 coronavirus cases have been confirmed, prompting countries around the world to show up surveillance and screening at airports. The symptoms of the coronavirus include running nose, coughing, and a sore throat. Infected persons may have headaches and fever, which can last for a couple of days. And that is all we have for you on this particular news summary. Thank you for being with us. My name is Yunis Dekow. Join me later for a full news coverage from news stories that made headlines across the Horn of Africa.